Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We are here. This is the John Peckman Podcast. I'm John Peckman, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance in downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, start looking left. I'm very excited. We have here today. I got to get my timing. I'm either talking too fast or too slow.
It's perfect.
I want this to all work out.
It's perfect.
We are here with Mr. Dean Falcone. His name is Dean Falcone. He is a multi-instrumentalist, record producer, movie producer.
Movie producer.
Sure.
That sounds horrible in the Me Too era. I don't know. I do not want that.
All right. Well, Dean, let me just say, how could I set this up, at least as far as I'm concerned? Okay, Dean has been around. He's always cooler than you, has been that way for a long time. And I think as far as hierarchies, a lot of people think I know a lot about music, you know, and power pop and Beatles, and they think I know, but I refer to you as Yoda. You're the one that I call when I just go, dude, okay, what's up with the this or that? You're the one I call. So let just the record show. I don't know, you know.
Let me just say I'm here against my will, or your will. I'm here against my will as well.
That's true.
All will.
What is Will?
I don't know.
Who's Will?
Will Forte.
Doesn't matter.
Will Robinson.
No, but I'm just saying it's true. You're the one. Hey, all things must pass. Reissue. What's the deal? Who's doing it? Or whatever it is.
Right.
You're
and
the
how
one.
lucky are we to be alive to get this?
Regardless. Although we are going to talk about it because I didn't like it, but
right. But we'll talk about why it exists and how great and how lucky it is that it exists.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whether you like it or not.
So Dean has been around. How did it all start? New Haven, right?
Hamden, but yeah.
Okay, Hamden.
Suburb.
Hamden, New Haven, because you are a big part of the New Haven scene, at least in my mind.
You get
right?
bigger every year. I barely tie my shoes.
Yeah, well, that happens. It does. It does. How did it all start? Wow. How does it all end?
Wow, that's coming soon. I have a feeling.
Oh, God.
How did it all start? You mean the music-y stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really lucky. I have 6 sisters, older sisters, and an older brother. Mm-hmm. I'm the youngest, so I got everybody's musical hand-me-downs. Yep. And my parents, I mean, always music on. My parents were big jazz fans. So I grew up hearing, you know, weird Stan Kenton before he got poppy, like the crazy, you know, stuff. And my mom liked the more melodic stuff. So I grew up, and then, you know, of course, the Bossa Nova thing hit. So we heard all that, and Sergio Mendes and Herb Alpert, and then all my sisters from, you know, Beatles to King Crimson to I had a Proggy sister. Nice. I had a Todd Rundgren sister. Nice. I had a Carole King sister. Wow. I had a Dave Clark 5 sister. Wow, I mean, cool. and my brother was, you know, all singer songwriters. So Neil Young. So you got it all. So I got a lot of, because one of my sisters ended up getting into like really crazy hard rock. So she always make me go see Ted Nugent. And, you know, so the good thing about being the youngest, when my parents would go away, they had to deal with me. So if they're going to a concert, they had to take me. So I went to a lot of concerts that I probably would not have gone to. So
nothing wrong with that.
And one of my sisters, Jean, was a crazy musician from the start. She had a drum kit when she was probably 12, so that was probably like 1972. Oh, wow. Other than Karen Carpenter, I don't really know of what that deal with that was.
Not a bottom head on that drum kit. I would venture if I did.
No bottom heads. No, you can't. What are you going to do? No. And so she played guitar, piano. She played everything. And I always watched her. I was too young, but always wanted to play guitar from watching her. And eventually she showed me a few things, and then I went down the Beatle chord book road. Mm-hmm.
Does she still play?
Yeah. So her son, my nephew, his name's Cliff. He's been in Ricky Lee Jones's band for the last 10 years.
Oh, cool. That's cool. What's he play?
He plays guitar. He's been a guitar player for
that's
the
great.
last while, and
that's cool.
That's so he got the natural talent. I did not have any talent at all. So, you know, other than wanting to be in the band, like, seeing Hard Day's Night, and it's like, they're having a good time, I want to do that. That's better than sports.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
But, so I didn't really have that natural. I mean, I'm terrible. I mean, I don't have natural feel. I have to work for everything. Everything takes me twice as long. But like he's just, you know, because he has it from her.
But you have your looks.
Oh yeah, those have faded years ago. But and that's pretty much the, you know, wanting to play an instrument.
Okay.
Stuff.
What did you start on?
Guitar.
Okay.
Classical, you know, nylon string.
Gotcha.
But you know, just to be able to play two chords that sounded like the record, I mean, or learning like Day Tripper or something.
Yeah,
it's like that sounds just like that. I can do that. What?
Yeah. No, I know.
Then,
I know the feeling.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
I mean, it's still magic, you know, when you play something and it's like, I can't believe I can.
Dude,
you know.
I'm doing it right now. I'm learning that dulcimer, and I just watching people on YouTube over and over, and then same deal. I'm like, oh, I'm playing the exact same
It's
notes.
crazy.
And then an hour later, you're like, oh, I got that thing. Yeah.
And now I still figure out stuff from when I was a kid and playing it now. It's like, I can't believe I can actually play that.
You're like,
still.
I wish I could go back and take back the 500 gigs that I played that wrong on. Like, I do that all the time.
Well, we all do, because you know, a lot of times we learn, you know, especially in bar bands, we learn them on the fly.
Right. Yeah.
And then you hear the real thing. It's like,
yeah, I wasn't even close. Yeah, I wasn't even close.
And how come they're playing it so fast? The song's like, it's like right.
I know.
And they're like, it's like,
I know.
Bar bands.
I do that all the time.
Bar bands.
Yep. Well, you know, you got to get something done somewhere.
I'm happy. I'm doing it this weekend.
Hey.
It never ends, thankfully.
No, I mean, that's cool. We always talk about, I don't know. I guess it's our natural inclination to complain that there's not a lot of playing to be done, but probably more playing than Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can kind of get around a little bit.
Yeah.
If you work New England.
I never complain about not enough.
Oh, good.
Okay. It's always just enough. It's just like, yeah. And now I've been downsizing since the COVID situation even more. It's like, yeah, this is great. I would like to play 3 times a month. That feels great. I can really enjoy each show. Right. And not like, oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, do I remember, what are they playing?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that's, I guess, one good thing about this whole whatever is that it kind of, you find out what's left is worth doing.
Right.
A lot of the other stuff kind of fell away, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're like a hamster on the, it's like, this is what I do. So we just do it. And then it's like, I don't have to do it. I can do it less. Yeah. And enjoy it a little more.
Nothing wrong with that. When did your playing, so when did you start playing out, as we say?
So the first, I lucked into the first band. So I was in first year of high school. Somebody in my homeroom said, you got to meet this crazy guy, because he knew I played guitar. I have a crazy friend. He has an organ in his house, and he stabs his organ with a knife.
Oh, perfect.
I was like, oh, is he going to stab me?
Yeah.
It's like, and then and then I realized it's a Keith Emerson reference.
Right. Yeah,
I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And so I went to this guy's house and met him. It was John Bryan.
Oh,
so that was my first.
Did he stab you?
He did not stab me.
Did he stab the organ?
Only when I tried to tune my guitar and I wasn't quite in tune. And he stabbed me with his eyes and and some lasers that kind of came out. Right. Because by then, you know, I think I just turned 15. He just turned 16, I think.
Wow.
I was 14, and he was already. My God, he was already, you know, he'd drum with Count Basie on the, he's drum, you know, he was every instrument. Mm-hmm. He could play barrelhouse piano. I mean, he'd be in there playing ELP songs. I'm trying to figure out part of a Cars song. Mm-hmm. I'm like, and he's, you know, so they're right out of the gate. So him and this other guy, Steve Harris, they had already started a band. So I played with them. First started playing guitar, and I learned an open E, but I had no clue how to make a minor chord.
Right.
So Christmas was just around the corner. I met them on Thanksgiving break. Okay. So for Christmas, they gave me a bass.
Right.
So it's like, oh,
here you go.
I guess I'm going to be playing bass now. It's like, that was fine.
Oh, wow.
So that was.
I started on bass. I like bass.
I love bass.
I would have been a bass player.
I love bass, and I'm happy. I mean, I lucked out, and then John taught me how to play. And wow. And then within 3 months, there was first show was at Ron's place in New Haven. That was the band called The Excerpts.
What is Ron's place now?
Ron's place is now like Saigon something. It's the corner. It's like some restaurant.
Okay. But it used to be the place. I don't think I was on the scene quite yet.
Yeah. This is way before your time.
Yeah. Wow.
This had to be 79, 80.
Yeah, that was before my time. Yeah. Well, in case anybody doesn't know briefly, who is John Bryan? In the world.
In the world. Yeah. Well, he's a
New Haven zone.
Big producer. Scores crazy movies. He's produced Amy Mann, Fiona Apple, Dido, Kanye West.
Right.
It's a huge list. I don't know. And he just passed away 3 years ago. Right before John came to my wedding, and the night before my wedding, Mac Miller, who he produced his last 2 albums, passed away.
Oh, I didn't realize.
And I was crushed for
wow.
John, because John just worked with him.
Yeah. I didn't realize he worked with Mac Miller.
Yeah,
Mac Miller
the last 2 albums.
He was from Pittsburgh, Mac Miller. That's how I knew.
Yep. So
wow.
So he's produced a lot of people. But scores. He's done most of Will Ferrell's movies. Like Step Brothers. He's scored crazy movies.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson. All his from Magnolia.
Yep.
And also Adam Sandler always uses him. He's in a lot of the movies too, in some kind of weird, always some kind of scene or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
but from New Haven,
super talented guy.
Hamden.
Yep. Hamden.
Oh, sorry.
Can't give it all to New Haven.
Hamden. Sorry. Hamden.
Unless we're talking about Michael Bolton.
Right.
Who's in our pizza movie as well.
Right. Which we'll get to. Yeah.
But John is ridiculously talented and just a good guy. And
so from all that comes all this.
And still a good guy. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you're playing with John Bryan and the fellas.
Yep. So that was
stabbing.
Our first.
Was he the keyboard player still, or just
no?
Whatever?
It was a pop band, 2 guitars, bass, and drums. But we did have he had an ace tone keyboard that he would knife edge.
Yeah. Did he ever stab a guitar?
He's destroyed many guitars at really? Ron's place. He borrowed. What was the band? I can't remember their name. But Seth Tiven, John broke strings, and he borrowed Seth Tiven's guitar. John Tiven's brother, if you know John Tiven, who produced Yankee Stadium. Took his, just because John has adrenaline on stage, he just loses his mind.
Sure.
Took this 57 Strat right into the ceiling. That was a good time.
Yeah, cool.
But
wow. Yeah.
So that was the first. So the first show I ever played was with them.
That's cool.
Actually, it was at Trinity Church on the Green.
Nice. How did it go?
Interesting, because I had mono 3 months before that show.
Okay.
So I couldn't come to any of the rehearsals. So I mimed about half the show, just unplugged.
Nice.
And then the ones I did know I played. And then we did have a keyboard player for that first show, and his name is Chris Smith, who I'm going to see for the first time in like 40 years next week.
Really?
He's in Jefferson Starship. He's been he's been in Jefferson. Yeah. He's been for the last 10, 15 years or so.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. See, this is all right. So I'm just going to say this is not why you're here. You're here as an excuse for us to hang out.
Here?
Well, as an excuse to talk and hang out, because we never get to. And then also, but you're starting to see already. So Dean's been here. We're 12 minutes in. We already hit Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler.
Jefferson Starship.
Yeah. Jefferson Starship.
Which is great. I love Jefferson Starship.
Me
Jane,
too.
Come on, Jane. Get out of here. Mickey Thomas, what are you, nuts?
Yeah.
You sing that.
Yeah, crazy.
You find a woman to sing that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No.
Good luck.
Yeah, for sure. And then what?
Oh, so all right. So that band, The Excerpts.
Yep.
Which was pretty much a squeezed, Cheap Trick, a band called The Records kind of band, very melodic, poppy. We played everywhere you could possibly play in the state. Got a manager. And he got us to tour Japan to try to get a record deal.
Cool.
Looked like we were going to get a record deal with RCA, Victor. Band broke up in Japan.
Oh, no. Why?
So,
John Bryan stabbed someone.
No, it was weird. We were kids, everybody was jealous.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even, this is the stuff that you...
Yeah, you don't have to.
No, I'm trying to remember. Anyway, John was some kind of deal with John separately or something. Everybody was mad. So some of us came back. John stayed and did a bunch of demos
in Japan,
which are really good.
Sure.
And then he came back. So band broke up. 2 months later, got back together, started playing again. Had some great. One of the best gigs we had when we got back together was we opened for In Excess at Toads right when they were huge.
Oh, nice.
It was They should have canceled that show.
Right.
Because it was right when they got crazy big.
Sure.
There was like hundreds of people outside of that show.
Whoa.
But they kept that kind of band.
Right. Yep.
And so we opened up for that, and it was funny because we were going to have our Japanese show at the end of the year. So our manager asked, they videotaped the shows, and I talked to the guy in the video area, please record the show.
Yeah.
So after we played our set, which was actually really good, and it was a crazy people.
And everybody liked you because
it was fine. We're easy to listen to. I mean,
sure.
poppy, hooky songs, and we're opening up for Excess, and people are all excited. They're going to see Michael Hutchinson 2 feet away from them.
Sure.
In you know, half
Did John Bryan stab Michael Hutchins? It's just going to go
just
on.
musically. So after our show's over, the manager went over to the video camera guy and said, "Oh, can I get that tape?" And he goes, "Oh, I forgot to put the cassette in." This is not a violent manager guy. This guy's really sweet. He punched him right in the face.
Ooh.
I've never. I mean, it was pretty heartbreaking for him. We just thought that part. It was worth it for us just to see that happen. we didn't care about our career. We really,
right. You're like, it's awesome. He punched the dude.
Just punched him.
So your finest moment can only live in legend.
That's it.
No, that's all right.
So then after, I don't know, the band kind of just petered out. And, but so that went well. And then I had another band called 100 Faces after that with this guy Wally.
Okay.
Fergalak, Wally Gates. And then it just started.
Yeah.
The onslaught.
And then everything.
Cool.
And it's still kind of going.
I'm still kind of going.
In some way.
Always going.
Yep. Far out. I know you also as a producer of records. How did that start? How did you get from, okay, I'll play bass in this band, to like, I'm going to make records now?
Big mouth.
What? Oh, okay.
No, it's just,
What'd you call me?
Honestly, it's happenstance. Just, you're playing with people and some people have an idea. Some people have more ideas.
Yep. Just
turn into, it was never a planned thing. Mm-hmm. I certainly like it and don't like it.
Okay.
I love doing it. And now I'm working with people that it's like crazy people that I really love.
Yeah.
And,
you can help them kind of get it together.
Yeah. But I'm also working with like heroes of mine that I can't even believe I get to tell somebody something's not good.
Can you imagine?
It's, how do you do that? How do you tell somebody that you idolize? Like,
tell me the craziest one.
I guess Brian May probably just something that he sent me that.
All right, hold on.
But yeah.
Sure.
I mean, there's definitely stuff.
Wow.
It's just weird. But and my wife, I produced records with her. But
get into all that.
Yeah, but like her brother, I let him produce her vocals.
Okay.
Some things are just you shouldn't do. So
I got you. Sure. Yeah. Don't produce your wife's vocals.
Yeah. That's a good thing to recommend.
Yeah, I saw that in a fortune cookie one time. Do not produce your wife's vocals.
Do not do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Word of advice.
What was like your first big production when you were like, okay, I'm a producer, or do you not even think of it like that? It's just whatever happens.
I think the first time was Shelley. It was her first record. It was the first one I produced at Joetown.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the first one I actually was the producer.
Okay.
Along with her brother Ed.
Yep.
That was really the first time.
Okay.
And then, and then I got gigs from that.
Yep.
And then I started doing some, I lucked into doing some movie stuff. And then, producing that stuff, and which turned into producing like crazy people, like we were talking about before, like Nora Jones and Brian May. And
wow.
And that all came from just doing scores for a movie, and you need a song, and you'd want to get somebody on it to bring attention to it. And that started that section.
Wow.
Of my,
it's kind of wild.
Ulcer.
Yeah.
Writing emails to people and.
What order do you want to go in? Do you want to talk about the pizza movie, which I want to talk about?
Sure, that's always. Did you enjoy your pizza?
Okay.
Are you ready for another one?
We are going to get there. So. Dean's it's official. Dean's the greatest. He's the greatest. I made it. Okay, so, and then we'll talk about the pizza movie, but Dean was involved in making a flick about New Haven pizza, which is no joke. Nothing about this is a joke. This is for real. And I was texting Dean to set this up, and as a joke, I said, well, why don't you bring some Sally's pie? And he he did. He showed up with 3 pizzas, which is completely makes you the best, the greatest.
You put it out there. I'm just going to follow through.
It's unbelievable. Look. Yeah. Look. Here comes the boss. Look, there it is. Dude, you do not want to mess with that. You don't want to mess with that.
The real deal.
Yes.
John, you got to take one. It's right there. You have to eat on camera.
No, I want the one with the pepper on it. Okay, this is the The sausage and cherry pepper.
Oh, that's a good
Sally's pie. So while I eat this, tell us about the movie. It's called
Pizza Love Story.
Pizza, a Love Story. So
Gorman Bechard, who I've been lucky enough to work with for the last 5,000 years, has let me do music for his movies.
This is so good.
I love it. It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was making, like regular films, just regular films. And he wanted to do a documentary, and his wife said, well, we'll do something you actually care about and like pizza. And so he asked me about, because we're both pizza snobs, and he said, what do you think? And I said, yep. And this was probably 2008.
Okay.
So this is, and that was the germ of it. So we started figuring out how to do it. And we knew we had to do it right. So that's why it took 12, 13 years to make, because we didn't have all our information. So we just went about finding out who digs New Haven pizza. We've all the celebrities, and we went down that road, trying to get, luckily Flo from Sally's was still alive, and she, she did an interview with us, which is rare. She does not do interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, she's hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did like one other one and had just didn't want to do it again. And luckily for us, she gave us like a 3-hour interview, and then she passed away a couple months later.
Whoa.
So we really,
that's great.
We were happy to have her on film. And everybody, all three of the modern Sally's and Pepe's were all amazing. They all went out of their way to help us, told us, they gave us pictures, videos, and then started reaching out to celebrities. Because we knew Henry Winkler was a huge Pepe's fan. We knew
Lyle Lovett's the first person you see in the flick.
Lyle Lovett is a crazy. So Lyle Lovett was great. So we wrote to him about it. He goes, absolutely. I'm playing College Street Music. Come meet me on my bus. And we were like, so he was a Pepe's guy. So we brought him some Sally's just because we're dicks. Oh, sorry, or Richards. We're a bunch of Richards. And we told him, about the plain pie, and it was Frank Sinatra's favorite pie. There's a whole Frank Sinatra connection. And he tried it, and he goes, oh, my God, how could I not have known about this? And then tweeted the next day, Sally's, Frank Sinatra's special, he called it, best pizza I've ever had. And that started all kinds of problems. And he was just, he talked to us for about 2 hours, and he knew so much about pizza. We were like, we were just open mouthed.
I saw him in the 90s, 92 or 93 at College Street. What was it then? The Schubert. Yep. And he was
Palace.
Yep. And he was talking about pizza then. He was saying, we have Pepe's backstage. Yep. It was funny.
So that show was him and John Hyatt.
Okay.
So obviously we brought Pepe's too. So they had the boxes. So he goes, I'm going to bring them out. So he brought a box of Pepe's out, and he gave John Hyatt the Sally's. So they, so at one point they hold them up. So let's hear it, Sally's or Pepe's. So they hold the Sally's up, hold the Pepe's up, and then you hear one guy, modern, in the back.
Yep.
And it was great.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would imagine probably most people that are going to watch or listen or see this are from Connecticut, so they kind of know. But New Haven pizza is where it's at. And I grew up in Wallingford, and it was like an event. You would go into New Haven, go to Worcester Street, and wait in line to get into either Sally's or Pepe's, and it is totally worth it. And it's a thing, and everybody is brand loyal. And then there's like Modern was. I was like, what, who? That in my mind came later, but Modern's legit. Like my sister.
Modern's awesome.
My sister loves Modern. She's team Modern.
Yeah, they all three.
But they're all, but you can't.
Modern
is,
that's a cheese. If you want a cheese, a mutz pie, they are the, or an eggplant. Because none of the other places really have eggplant pies.
I got you.
But their cheese is amazing.
Yep. No, you can't mess with.
Right. And people don't like Sally's mutz because they don't put a ton on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, they put just enough so you get the sauce and if the ratio is correct. Modern is like, you want cheese? You got cheese.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's great.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah, it's like Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin.
Right.
Whatever.
And the answer is the Kinks. But whatever.
Right.
No.
Yeah. And not for nothing, I don't know if this is sacrilege either, but I, like other people, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't pick, but bar is no joke either.
No joke.
It's no joke.
Just a little too thin.
It's not.
It's too almost like a cracker.
Right, but I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised somewhere along the line. I was
good.
like, oh,
yeah.
So New Haven, we can't really go that wrong.
Our okay pizzas are pretty amazing. Moderns,
that's what I'm saying.
Moderns really good. I just don't count them in. I'm not going to go there instead of, but I'll go there if I'm there. I'll be happy to have it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
no doubt.
Everybody
no
thinks we're like, I'm a real pizza snob, but I'll have Stofers. It's just when you start, when you start comparing them and stuff. That's when I have issues. And then
Yeah, I remember I was at a party, and there was both. I said, I don't know how this happened, but I was like, let me get to it. Yeah, they had Pepe's and Sally's together, and I just went because you can't remember. You have one and then one, and I one after the other, and that's when I decided I was like, okay, Sally's for me.
Yeah,
but it's close.
One of the best things our early screenings of the pizza movie, we were able to get all three in one shot, so everybody could actually have all three in one place.
There you go.
Which is pretty rare. Although Colin, Colin Kaplan, one of the producers on the pizza movie, does these pizza tours. And you take in one day, you go to all these places. So you get to, you get a card and you mark off, crust, tomato, the sauce, the cheese. And that's great because you get them right out of the, they're not hitting a box. So you're getting them the proper way.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of drinking involved. So I don't really know how
Maybe
you're answering. It's like, you're at the last place. I mean, it could be whatever. And it's like, this is the best one you have.
And then you get your hometown. I grew up in Wallingford, and there's Napoli, and Wallingford is my favorite hometown pie, which I will eat at any time.
And that's going to remind you of your childhood, and it's going to be that you can't make that somewhere else.
Right. And then Greek pie. There's a Greek pie place in town, which I like Greek pie sometimes too.
Now you're pushing your luck.
Okay, all right, never mind. And then sometimes I like, you ever have
the Chicago thick, the Detroit style pan.
Yeah. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, and it's funny because our senator, what is our senator's name? Chris Murphy. So he's in the movie talking about that. Somebody posted about Detroit. It's like, yeah, Detroit's not really a thing. He got in a lot of trouble.
Really?
Yeah, it's really funny part of the movie.
Yikes.
He said everybody knows outside of Connecticut, New York, and Jersey, there's no pizza.
Yeah, right.
He tweeted that, and it was.
But it's true though.
That's why he tweeted it.
Yeah, well, it's a great flick. It really is.
Thank you so much.
No, I mean, I knew about it. I don't remember, but yeah, I found it, streaming, and I was like, oh, check this out, and it was great. I thought it was really cool. I learned a lot. I didn't realize that it in a way, I guess, pizza in America kind of argument could be made that the film makes. It kind of started in New Haven.
Yeah, we're
in a big way.
Pretty close.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's
great flick.
We're lucky, New Haven.
Yeah, we are.
Louis' Lunch. What?
Yep. Yeah, Louis' Lunch too.
What?
Yep. Yeah, definitely check out the flick. No doubt about it. Dean brought pizza today. It's awesome. And you produced so you did the score. You did the music for the pizza movie, which is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Mandicello.
Yeah, right.
And
I knew, yeah.
Other than like Brian May and a couple, Nora Jones and a couple people, getting a note from Rick Nielsen after he watched the movie saying, love the Mandicello. I mean, he is the guy that brought Mandicello in. Right. What's a Mandicello?
Yeah. And he thinks you just stumbled on it. You're like, no, you invented me. The only reason I know.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows exactly the deal.
So funny.
So that I had an eye twitch for about 3 days after that. It was definitely.
I can't even imagine.
That hurt my brain.
Yep.
And
yeah. We're both huge Cheap Trick fans. That's one of the things. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. The number one.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still not stopping.
I lose my mind. I still go to a show and lose my mind.
Me too. Yep.
Lose my mind.
Yeah, we went. When was it in June? When we were kind of in the bubble.
Oh right.
I'm like, thank God we went.
That's right. That's right. At the
first
casino.
thing I did. Yep.
Yeah.
The casino before Delta variant. I was like, okay, this is cool. Life is good.
Yep.
It's got to be nice for them. I I don't know. We have other things to talk about.
Nice for them in what way? That they had the actual time off, or that they're still.
What I was going to say is, I think it's nice. I know some people would disagree, but I look at it like it is what it is. I think it's nice that their kids are in the band.
Who else should be in the band?
Who else should be in the band? And I just go, these guys are away from their families long enough. It's nice for me to see that, like, okay, you're bringing your family on the road. It's the way it should be.
Dax knows those songs better than that. He knows their catalog better than them. We all have the situation with Bunny and Dax.
Yep, sure.
But when Dax joined the band, their show was almost twice as longer. They did way more varied songs. They were doing they're doing that now because he wanted to play them.
Right.
And everybody's going to have their opinion. And but if a member leaves, who you going to get? You're going to get another ringer. You're going to get
right.
What's the awesome session guy that plays with CCR and Smashing Pumpkins?
Oh,
the Muscle
Kenny
Man.
Aronoff.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have him there. With a checkerboard tie because he always wears whatever the band wears. I mean, would you somebody that grew up with the band?
Sure.
And I mean, it's not like he can't play. He's great.
Yeah, and for whatever it's worth, we have too much to talk about, but as you know, like Bunny Carlos is one of my 3 of all time.
So Tommy Ardolino and Ringo?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Correct.
But having said that, like Dax has been in the band long enough. I no longer think what would Bunny do.
Right.
Like Dax is totally legit. I'm like, this is his thing. And he respects the parts enough that you relax. You don't just go, no. You realize, like you're saying, this is a fan playing the gig.
Right.
And then he brings his own thing too.
Right.
That is been there long enough at this point that I just realize after, especially after the last time I saw him, I go, I'm no longer comparing.
Right.
I've moved on.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, okay, this is totally cool. Dax is a great drummer.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh.
And he sings really good too, which is great because it's like Robinson. Are you kidding with Robinson?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Because it's, to hear those harmonies that we never got to hear live. And now they're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because his voice is higher than Robin's ever was.
I know. Can you imagine?
He really hits the crazy notes. And now he's covering for Tom, which people are, but Tom's got to heal. They're giving him his time.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
End of the year, he'll be back. Let the guy heal. He had open heart surgery.
Excuse me.
Beautiful.
Sally's Pizza.
Keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Cheap Trick.
All the time.
All right. Well, let's. All right. I have a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, the glasses are going on.
So let's talk about
the weather.
Yeah. Let's talk about Brian May and why his name comes up because I don't know anything about that. And then we're going to talk about this list. So, Brian May plays guitar for a funny little band called Queen.
Crazy.
How did you come to work and know with Brian May? Work with?
So I was scoring a movie called A Dog Named Gucci for Gorman, and we wanted to get a song with a bunch of people singing it. So Gorman's wife came across, thought there's a song called One Voice by Barry Manilow.
Okay.
Which has 1,000 different vocals, and it's like, we can get different celebrities to sing this.
Well, why is it called One Voice? See, I already have a problem with this.
Oh, okay. So because it's this dog movie. It's about justice.
I don't care. You don't really have. I just say it's one voice, but then he has many voices on the recording.
Because it's one voice, but everybody has one voice, and if you use all your one voice together, it's a huge voice. I got it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So we contacted Barry Manilow. We got through his agent. He actually wrote us back saying, "Unfortunately, I don't have the rights to that song. I would totally let you." He's a crazy animal lover. He goes, but I can give you check Warner Chappell, but they wanted crazy money. And it's like, okay. So I found another song called One Voice by a Canadian band called, we'll insert this later, the Waylon Jennies.
Yeah, the Waylon Jennies.
I almost got it out.
Yep.
And they had a song called One Voice. I was actually worked better for what I wanted to do. So I started contacting people, the usuals, Elton John, Paul McCartney.
Sure.
Yeah, And then, for the solo, I wanted Brian May to do like his harmonized thing. And I wrote to him. So, if nobody's getting back to me, the next day, Brian May writes me back, what can I do? Because the synopsis of the dog movie and then Justice for Animals. He's an animal guy.
I got you.
What can I do and when do you need it? And I said, well, we're working on the vocals. I have Nora Jones and Nico Case right now. I'll send you once they put their vocals on, so you can hear what the deal is.
Yep.
Because I sent him a demo.
Sure.
So we got Nora Jones, we got Amy Mann, Susanna Hoffs, because these are all people I wanted to hear sing together. Because Susanna Hoffs and Amy Mann were doing a Christmas show, and I heard their voice together, the way they sang together, because she has a lower voice and Susanna has a and I said I have to hear these voices together on a record. Yeah. So they both like, yeah, cool, absolutely.
Wow.
Nico Case, we got Lydia Lovelace. I'm probably forgetting somebody because I'm a terrible person. And Nora Jones, we went to her house, and she. So once I got their voices on, I sent it to Brian May, and he goes, "This is great. So I'll come up with something." And he kept trying things. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So for this one little thing I wanted him to do, I literally have over like 500 emails from him because he takes. This is how serious. And you imagine this for this little project. You know how many big things he's involved in?
Yeah.
So he's sending stuff, and he goes, I don't think I have it. I don't think he played a thing. It's like, and I said, I don't think that's it either. And I'm calling Shelley into over my shoulder, and I'm writing this in my. I'm not saying anything wrong here. Oof. How do you write this? And she goes, no,
Yeah. You imagine.
I lost so much sleep. And then he goes, well, let me think about it. He goes, I just can't come up with something. I'll do an intro and an outro for you. Because you have this nice thing at the beginning, I'll do an intro. So he gave me this crazy Brian May backwards guitar and then this outro thing, which was beautiful. And he, kept writing back. And then this is weird. So at the same time, there was some crazy political stuff going on in Britain, and he wanted to have a song to go against one of the political parties, and he wanted to use one voice. And our song's not coming out for the year. And he goes, I'm going to steal your thunder. I'm going to take the song. I hope you don't hate me, and you'll still talk to me and let me finish doing the thing. But I felt passion for the song, so me and my friend Carrie Ellis are going to record this version. And it's like he's apologizing to me, and it's like I have this letter up on my wall because it's he's like
right. Brian May beseeching,
but it ended with the best Austin Powers kind of line. Let me know if you're never going to talk to me again. It's like.
Jeez,
so
imagine that.
That's so crazy.
I would have froze him out.
Yeah. So
I said, I hate you, Brian May. I would never again.
I know. So he was,
that's amazing.
And he would just every so often cool just write, how's the movie doing? And I sent him the thing. He watched it with Roger Taylor. He said, me and Roger just watched the movie. This is great. It's really heavy. I don't know how people in America can deal with it, but all the points, the movie making was great, and I'm like glad to be part of this. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. So, he signed, when the record came out, he signed a bunch of them to auction off. But he's still, him and his,
cool guy.
He sends stuff every so often. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't, but somebody,
Wow.
Crazy.
That's wild.
So that's, I mean, that's as big as it gets for me. That or, McCartney are like the biggest things in my brain.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing more than that. Like I got the moon itself to be on my album or whatever.
Yeah, it's really,
Yeah, that's wild. Hey, that's cool. So Brian May, it's not. I guess it's nice to know that somebody is cool. Who's that big of a
cool and self-deprecating. Yeah. And he has, he'll write something on Twitter that's like like he's not doing it. I'll write to him. He'll write back what's going on with him, and like why he's not doing right. And he's, he puts it out there.
Yeah.
And then I see all the stuff that he does for other people. He just does not sleep. He just sleeps he must sleep 4 hours. I can't believe the amount he does for people.
Wow. Hey, that's cool. Wow, Brian May.
And not to mention that he's freaking awesome.
Well, he's Brian May.
Guitar player.
Yeah.
His voice. And,
you can't even. Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about that forever. But yeah, I grew up on Queen too. I mean, just
Queen too?
Well, actually, I do love Queen 2 might be my favorite, actually.
Oh, my God. White Queen?
Ogre Battle? Oh, my God. Forget about it. That might be my favorite.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Brian May guitar album for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think so.
He's all the different sounds.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. All right. Well, we have, this is great. This is fantastic. See, this is what Dean is like. So Dean brought a list, I guess, in case we run out of things to talk about, which would never happen.
It's really because I can't remember.
Look, I don't know. This is the list that Dean brought of people that he's worked with or wants to talk about.
Not vain, just forgetful, and I just didn't.
We're never. So here's what I'm going to do.
Very lucky.
There are 2 columns. There might be 100, more than 100 things here, topics. I'm going to
You're
blindly point, and then I'm going to say the name, and you're going to talk.
Oh, God.
Why not? What else?
You can do whatever you want. It's your show.
You ready?
I'm going to take the pizzas away.
You ready? Look, I pointed right in the middle of the
John.
Right in the middle. Yeah. All right. Hold on.
You have your name.
Oh, I don't know. Bill Janovitz and Chris Colburn. Who's that?
Oh, Buffalo Tom, pretty big Boston band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Did a couple times with Bill and him. Played a bunch of Buffalo Tom things at a Eugene Merman festival.
Ooh.
Do you know Eugene Merman, the comedian? Bob's
No.
Burgers and
No.
just a comedian. So I played a bunch of their songs with them, which was pretty crazy because they're great. But the best thing on that bill, who I got to hang with, was Bobcat Goldthwait, was also performing, and he's a crazy Replacements fan, and he found out through somebody that I did, he worked on a Replacements movie, and he wanted to know about the movie.
Oh, right, you did that too.
Yeah. So he said, you got to come back here. He brought me back to his computer, and he opened up his screen. It's him in 1985 wearing this Replacement shirt.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh man, I love them so much. That movie was great. I loved it." It's like,
that's cool. I forgot about that. I got to see that.
I will send that to you.
I didn't see that one.
Color Me Obsessed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Replacements.
Yeah, but Bill is a crazy great singer, super talented Boston guy, and
okay, that's you. The Manchurians, I know about them.
New
London.
Roger C. Real.
Okay.
I mean,
right?
the Roger C. Real.
Yep.
Yeah, who's finally had his stuff come back from Try Nozzle, and he got all his recordings back.
Okay.
And he got so much attention when they came out like last year, which makes me really happy.
Yep.
Because him and people like him and Van Duren, who people just know underneath.
Mm-hmm.
They're finally getting this crazy exposure, and like I'm seeing him pop up on lists and stuff. I mean, Rogers is such a. He's written songs for B.B. King and Buddy Guy.
Yeah.
With John Tiven, a bunch of songs. He just sang everything on the new Steve Cropper album that just came out. He's the vocalist on the album.
Right.
So he was supposed to be in Nashville. Today is Steve Cropper's birthday.
Oh.
He was supposed to be in Nashville doing a party, but because of COVID, he did not want to go.
Gotcha.
But there's some crazy, it's like. Yeah, there's some insane people on that list.
Connecticut. This is what we're learning.
Roger C. Real is an icon. And he should be sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
As well as another guy.
Well, you know what? I'll consult with you.
You need him, and you also need somebody I'm working with right now, Hilly Michaels.
Oh,
who was in Sparks. He was in Ian Hunter.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll get it. Yeah, because
these are people that should really be here. Not,
yeah. Well, no, I mean
peddling my nonsense.
Well, no, but that is true because
peddling my nonsense. Yes, that is true.
What? Oh, Hilly Michaels.
Oh, there you go. Right. So working on a project with him right now.
Nice.
He's doing a new album, and I think Kelly Riley, another local person, is going to be singing on.
Good Lord, look at all these people.
I don't know.
And then there's one in Penn at the bottom, just in case.
Oh, I just don't know. I didn't want to forget. Yeah, but I just said her. So.
Wow. Do you want me to read all of these or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, even I'm on here.
Holy you are.
Wow.
You're an icon.
Sure.
John.
I guess so. Wow. But where's Dick Neal? What's he doing lately? I haven't heard from Dick. Is he around?
I think he plays with Anne-Marie Menta. I mean, obviously he does all kinds of things. I ran into him somewhere. Oh, we played a show with him in the Cafe 9 and had a little talk, but neither of us asked what each other was doing. It was more like, great to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always busy, Dick. He's stupidly talented.
Yep, totally. What about, talk about the vomitorium.
Wow. The vomitorium.
Which this is about to turn into, considering how much pizza I just ate.
This is actually the 25th anniversary this year.
The 25th anniversary of the vomitorium. The vomitorium.
But it's really way more than that because it's consecutively, 25 years consecutively. It started in 1990, so.
Wow.
And that happened because I had a regular gig at a place in Essex called the Black Seal. I played there every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to play there regardless. And that was the first year that the Saturday was Christmas Eve, and I did not want to play on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
but I had to. So I had a lot of friends in town. Two of them mainly was John Bryan was here with his girlfriend at the time, Amy Mann.
Oh, wow.
And they said, we'll come up and play with you. And It was me and Pat Luciano. We had a duo.
Sure.
So they came up and they played the whole night with us.
Wow.
And we just did. We had it was just like calling out songs, whatever. I mean, it was crazy.
Stumped the band.
And we did, and at the end of it, we did like, we ended up doing Voices Carry, but we did it with Tomorrow Never Knows. John programmed Tomorrow Never Knows me.
Yeah, sure.
And then a woman came up to Amy after, goes, wow, you sound just like her. And Amy said to her, I've been listening to her for a really long time.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
classic.
Yeah,
So,
I had my physiognomy altered to resemble her. That's how much I actually...
Perfect.
Yeah, imagine.
So, when people don't dress like they normally do,
Sure.
you don't recognize, you don't really know the deal. Although she's like 6'2".
Wow. Is she really?
She's very tall. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
She's like 6'1". Yeah, well, that's why, and John is too. I mean, that's why they were like,
Gotcha.
I'd be like, a garden gnome.
Right. And there's these big super people.
Pet me.
Yeah.
Pour water on me to grow.
Huh.
So I realized, hey, people, when they come into town for the holidays, how fun it would be to actually play with people I never get to play with every year. So me and Ed Vlauskas, who had moved to Boston, who I never get to play with, and Jim Balga.
So when you're home for the holidays, come and do this
let's
thing.
book a gig and just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And like both Ed and I were always in bands, but we never sang really. And so we figured we'll do songs that we want to do. It's like, and then find people to play. It's like, we can do a Yes song. Who cares? Yeah. We'll do whatever we want because there's nobody telling us what to do.
Yep. Because they're lucky you're there at all, and then you're bringing people.
So it just turned into over the years it's turned a little more organized, but it used to not be.
It's a post-Thanksgiving, is that what it is?
At the night. Well, it used to be Thanksgiving night.
Right.
And then I was like, I don't want to do this.
Hence vomitorium.
Right.
You've eaten so much, you're now vomiting.
And at the Black Seal, a person actually did throw up.
Oh, perfect.
So that's kind of
Well, because probably John Bryan stabbed him,
right?
And then he threw up.
But it has a double entendre because vomitorium actually means it was exits, like in the old buildings.
Oh.
A vomitorium was the exit. So the music's so bad that people would run out. The
building is
so
vomiting.
It actually works both ways.
Oh,
so once I realized that, was like, this is the perfect name for this thing.
So the root word vomit is exit.
Exit.
Wow.
It makes total sense.
Vomitorium. Gotcha.
Now you're going to be saying that more than you ever thought you'd say it. Vomitorium.
Yeah, vomitorium.
So over the years, so now it's a little too organized for my own liking because people start asking and can I play like July? It's
right.
It's like, and now there's so many people. How do I say no to these people? It's like, now I don't want anybody at all to show up.
Oh, really?
It's like, because it's so much pressure. Now there's too many people.
Yeah.
So now
and people are mad.
Yeah, or they take it personally. It was like, no.
I would, if I were you, tell Brian May, dude, I don't need you and your nonsense.
Well, why are you bothering me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
Yeah, same with McCartney. Whatever. Blackbird sing.
Oh, God, give me a break.
Next.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
it's not about the Civil War. What are you talking now? You're changing history now. What are you doing? No, that's not true.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's right.
Too many people.
Yeah, so we're in the process.
Involved in your thing.
We're in the process of refiguring this out before. I want to have fun. It's not fun anymore.
I got you.
I mean, I shouldn't say it like, but it's a lot of organizing, and it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't start that way.
Yeah, so
that's what happens. I guess that's what happens. Success. That's what you get.
I would go that far.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, you think Sally's wants people waiting in line outside of their sidewalk? It's like we were
get out of here.
Yeah, we're just.
Flo would come out there with a broom. Get out of here.
Crazy. That's funny. Man, there's too much to talk about. I didn't like the All Things Must Pass.
Okay.
I thought it was murky. I A-B'd it, and I mean, it was nice, but I just was like, I don't like the mix.
Yeah.
And I thought, is it that different? And I A-B'd it to the remaster. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, no, I like the remaster better.
It makes sense.
Who knows? I don't know.
But again, with these remixes and remasters, for me,
it just taste. It wasn't bad.
No, it's fine. It was to hear his voice drop, like to hear wah wah with a little more whoa.
Sure.
There's a punch.
Yep, no doubt.
But I know what you're saying, and I'm never gonna not go to the originals. People, this happens every time,
right.
And I always want to get on there. And it's like and my copy and paste answer always is, it's not instead of, it's an addition to.
Like we talk, or you do what I do.
Right.
Make a custom version. That's what I do. I go, like I did that with the White Album.
Yeah.
I like 2/3 of it.
Right.
And I just said, you know what? Then make your own together with the old mixes that you like, if that's the way it's got to be. or appreciate them each as whatever they are.
I look at it as an excuse to get the outtakes out there.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
for sure.
So all those outtakes, hearing him play 15 songs to Phil Spector on acoustic guitar.
Yep.
This one's not quite finished yet.
It's beautiful.
It's worth it for that.
Yep.
But,
I agree.
But the mixes are like some things. I kind of like the real one.
I just was sad because I wanted to. I was waiting, and then I'm like, oh, but whatever. Who cares?
Always going to be an issue. I like hearing the drier vocals, but I'm always again with the Let It Be thing that's coming out. Same deal.
Yep.
I'm super excited.
I'm all
because
over
the ones that they put out already sound freaking amazing.
Yeah, I'm ready.
And that different take of "Don't Let Me Down" is like,
it's
freaking because he blew the words. They didn't use it, but the energy of that one has way more energy than the released one.
I'm ready. Yep, I'm totally ready. Yeah, no, I'm down.
I'm just thankful. I'm thankful I'm alive to hear these, and you know.
Yep.
Will I go back and listen 40 times? Probably not. I'm always going to go back to you know. Same with Let It Be Naked. You know, I'm happy it exists.
Yeah.
Do I go back to that? No.
Sometimes I do.
I do sometimes, but
I like the original.
I'll still go back to Long and Winding Road with the choir and the harp that everybody hates.
Me too.
It's in me.
I don't mind it.
It's
Yeah, it's part of it.
Although I just read that Paul said, please can you just at least turn the harp down in this mix? And they said we did, but it's still there.
Oh boy.
But,
wow. Imagine that.
Still eating at him.
He's just the harp.
With the choir, he hated the harp in the choir. It's like, because George Martin would never do anything so cheesy.
I guess not.
But I love it. I mean,
I don't mind it.
It's in me. So
I did like the Plastic Ono.
That's amazing.
That was really good.
My God.
That was good.
That just
I like that better than I didn't expect to like that as much as I did.
Yeah.
But that was good.
And some of those, the Lennon remix, like Mind Games, just the regular remix is because now there's all these guitar parts you didn't hear, and it's like in Mind Games, he's playing this Dear Prudence picking thing, and from the second verse out, that it's barely there, but now it's up just a little bit.
You're like
tastefully, it's like I didn't know that was there.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the Beach Boys Feel Flows thing. I didn't get into that yet. Is it cool?
I love it.
Okay.
My God.
I'll get into it. I'll get into it. I haven't gotten there yet.
Until I Die, there's this version. It's been the first part was around, but now the whole thing it's one that starts with 2 minutes of vibraphone.
Oh boy.
That are just slow vibraphones, and then it just goes into the backing vocal.
All right, I'll get into
La La Land.
I'll get into it. Yeah. I do that.
We're so lucky.
We are. We
dreamed that that and getting stems and being able to mix things just like, and then to find out they're better than you even thought.
I know.
It's like, what is that horrible thing? That horrible clank.
Isn't that crazy?
That sounds amazing. That's still the worst. If you were in the room and they were recording, it's like you got to EQ that better. It's like no. That's why it sounds so great.
So crazy. Yeah, I always think of that sometimes. I guess this is maybe true of any time. It just depends on what you're into. It's like a lot of people want to think that we live in the worst of times, but in some ways we live in the best of times at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like
But it's always been that way, I think. It's just relative.
I think you're right. Cool.
There was a time Pop-Tarts didn't exist. Somebody came out one week and like, we have Pop-Tarts and MASH.
Yeah, right.
We also have the Vietnam War.
Good point.
So, wow. It's always bad.
That is true.
And always great.
Yep. Far out. Far out. Let's do so you've watched these, so you know what goes on. Do you know what's coming?
I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, I have watched them because you're my friend.
Okay. Well.
But you're gonna ask me. Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah, you're gonna ask me.
So real quick, as an aside, do you have the Todd Rundgren book, Todd Rundgren in the Studio? Do you have that book?
I do. Paul Myers.
Okay, never mind.
I'll tell you why.
I'll take that off the list too, because there was a pile of those at the mall too. So just checking. I just remembered.
I have to tell you this not to be another.
No.
I sound like a wanker.
That doesn't matter.
So this project I'm working on, Todd Rundgren's on. He just sang a song with us. So I'm doing a record with somebody. There's an artist called A Girl Called Eddie, who I'm a huge fan of.
Okay.
You can look her up. I've been a fan. So through the years, anyway, I'm helping her with her next record. And so we got Todd Rundgren to sing on a song.
Wow.
And Paul Myers helped us. Because I wrote to him to get the manager's info, and Paul Myers is a great guy. So Todd's singing on that. It's
cool.
That's on. So that's another. Another
nuts.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
That's a great book.
Who's next? You're going to get McCartney someday, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you are.
Although Roger Reel's granddaughter just met him, and and he asked to take a picture with her. Long story. This
All
is
right.
great, but that's crazy. He sent me the picture.
Yikes.
And Paul doesn't really do that anymore.
Really?
With the photos with people, not so much.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, sure.
I'll talk to you for a few minutes, but I really don't want to have my
Right.
picture taken.
Right.
But
right.
she's like, she's like a 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, sure.
And
sure,
he was
sure.
like, and he could, she was staring, and he was like, wait, I'll come down out of the security area.
Sure.
And
That's funny.
It's everything you want it to be, because his mom told us the whole story. It's like, so what do you like music? And she knew Abbey Road and Rubber Soul. Those are the only 2 albums she knows. He goes, those are pretty two good ones.
Yeah, those are good.
and
she's fine.
And then he was talking, and she plays drums.
Wow.
And it's like,
That's wild.
It's what you hope.
Yeah, definitely. Desert Island album, not possible. Give me a few.
Desert Island album. Wow.
You know what I mean?
I do. That's this stuff. So, wow. So for Beatles, because there has to be.
Sure.
It's got to be the White Album, just because of all the information.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I always hear new stuff. I can't believe how many times I've heard it. I still hear something. It's like,
I do too.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
So it's for sure that. And then, probably some kind of Baroque classical album with harpsichord.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really bad at. I don't know. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know.
Whatever. That's cool. No, I think that's a good enough answer.
It's I mean, you want to think of things that you haven't heard 10 billion times because you hear them in your head anyway.
Yep, right.
So maybe it would be something new,
right,
or something I didn't really dive into.
Who's on your list of things that you want to dive into that you haven't yet?
Well, luckily during the COVID thing gave me a lot of free time to go down that road. Like I wanted all these proggy bands, like Gong.
Okay.
And all these, I went down all these catalogs.
There, yeah.
Like Laura Nero, I only do like 2. I wanted to know what the deal was.
Either,
Judy Sill.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of stuff I missed. I mean, there's always classical music and jazz that I don't know deep catalogs of.
Yep.
That I'm always, in the morning, I'll just make find a playlist.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. Far out. Another stupid question, I guess. If you could eat only one food for the rest of your life every day without consequence.
One food.
If we were perfected beings.
Oh, dear.
What would it be?
That's a tough question.
Yeah,
could it be... I mean, could it be like
if you had to make a choice, if they said you have to make a choice.
It like just one particular food or just a genre of food?
Yeah.
Like Italian food.
Sure.
Okay, it would have to be Italian food.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's
you'd be. I'd be. All
it'd have to be Italian food. I don't. How do you? I wouldn't be able to pick. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, pizza's great because you could put. You could put anything on,
right.
on it.
Anything could become.
You could put cream cheese and lox on crust. You can put anything on it.
You could. Someone has.
People have done that. Yeah. I've done that.
On purpose.
Absolutely. Because it was long story, but yeah, I did do that once.
That's cool.
Because that's what you do.
Nice.
When you have free time.
Yeah.
But Italian. And you? How about you?
White Album. I always say. I don't know why.
Okay.
Just for some reason, that's kind of where it begins with me.
Yeah. There's a lot of magic.
There's a lot of beep. Something ran out. Did something run out? Beep. I just heard. We're good. Okay.
Yeah.
White Album. Mexican food for me. I don't know why. Whatever.
Great.
Anything else you want to touch on? What do you want to be remembered for? How would you sum all this up?
I remember. Not probably just being a good dad.
Oh, good. Yeah, hey, that's cool.
Music. I mean,
that's
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't done anything that great.
Yeah.
The kids. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. No,
and they don't hate me yet, so I'm doing.
How old are they? They will.
I know. Well, they're up there. So I got 17, 22,
no,
and, 20,
you're good.
and 26. I think I got through most of it.
No, you don't.
I could still blow it.
But don't you remember? No.
It.
Don't you remember? I remember being like, I don't remember what age, probably like 11 or 12. And I can remember sitting in the car looking at my parents in the front seat, and I hated the back of their head. Because you're like, you're old enough to want to do stuff, but they're stopping you,
seething.
Yeah, you're just like,
absolutely.
I hate these people, and then you don't, and then you don't.
Well, totally.
You're past that.
I was no.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about. I think I can't really tell them what to do at this point.
Yeah.
Although I do try.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Talk about
that feeling though. Oh my God.
The records you make with Shelley. I called you because your last record was awesome.
You were so nice to do that. Yeah, that was a nice record, and I was excited. We got to work with crazy people again. John, Dave Maddox on drums for most of it. That guy, how?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do?
He's up there too.
You don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is say one name, and say Paul McCartney. Oh yeah, so we did XTC. Oh yeah, and then it's just crazy. I mean, Fairport Convention, George Harrison. He's everybody. And then he's with us.
I love his playing too. He's up there. He's on the short list.
He's with us idiots, and he's playing these things, and we're like, and Jim Balga wanted to come to the session just to watch him. And Jim filmed. Can I film your tracking?
Yeah.
And we watched these things that he did. It's like
crazy.
That's a ghost note, but you're not hitting that thing to make the ghost note. We're another magic guy. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for saying that. But that record came out good.
Yeah, that's cool. You guys making another record?
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that once we figure it out. I think we're gonna try to go to Ardent and
wow,
because that's been a dream.
Hey, that's cool.
That's been a dream.
Might as well, right?
So if we're gonna,
that's kind of awesome.
I think that's if we're gonna do it, you might as well do something special.
Yeah.
So I think that's the plan, and
yeah. Why not make it at Brian May's house?
Oh, because that's too easy.
Wow. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I just while there's time left,
try
to do make it a little special.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you playing wise?
I'm not playing like I used to, which I'm kind of okay with. Doing a lot of teaching. I play with there's a girl singer called Hallie Yagi out near Canton Way. She's young, just out of high school. Great singer. She sounds like Bonnie Raitt. Like sounds like she's 100 years old, and it's been that way since I started teaching her drums when she was young, and she's just like really wise beyond her years. So I play gigs. I've realized that this is like the rise, at least in my world, we're witnessing the rise of the farm gig, where like farms have tents out back and they hold events, and it's like only people show up that want to see the gig. So I've been doing some farm gigs with her, which are cool.
That sounds great.
So all the players are cool. And then just, odds and ends, nothing too spectacular with any regularity, but that's all right. I'm okay with it.
You've played with some pretty crazy people yourself.
At times, yeah. I don't mind. I mean, I actually teaching a lot is fine. It keeps me busy enough.
I missed that. I was teaching for a while. I missed that.
Yeah, I fell into it, and it just keeps. Yeah. It ends up being like, oh, this is my job. That's fine. I don't mind. I like it a lot.
Somebody can do something that they couldn't do before because of you.
I guess,
that's
right?
Insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. You
get to watch them when they get it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and that never gets old. It never gets old. Yeah. Watching that happen. It's funny. Yeah. And knowing you just like staying with them through it. And that's why I do that thing where I'm learning. Cause I did the same thing yesterday. I spent all day trying to figure out this thing on the so that I can be patient with my kids instead of just like, why can't you? I just go, I know what it's difficult. Like. I had to play this thing 50 times yesterday, one note at a time, just to get this little riff.
Yep.
And it's like you say, sometimes you get wind behind your sails because you're getting better at it, but it's like starting over every time you learn something new. So,
I've been learning pedal steel over the last couple of years.
Oh, nice.
That's
cool.
That's as big of a nightmare as you can get.
I can't even imagine.
And it's just because the rewards, when you get something, the rewards are it's one of my favorite sounds.
Yeah, me too.
Ever.
Yeah.
So when you get
Did you see Ed? I had a pedal steel player 2 weeks ago here.
What, Ed?
Talking. Yeah,
I didn't
Ed
see
Ioruso.
that.
He's cool.
I played with him. He's
cool. Yeah.
He did Shelley's record release party.
Oh.
So we had a guy playing pedal steel on the record, so he played all those parts.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's
awesome.
Man, he's great.
Yeah.
I'm
with you. I love pedal steel. So
I'm just learning, and it's so you're playing your feet, your knees. There's too many things going on.
I can't even.
And I can't, but I don't care, because when I get something even remotely close, it's rewarding.
Yep.
That's cool. But I basically horrific.
Far out. All right. We can get. You want to get out of here?
Sure. There's more pizza to eat. You kidding?
Oh man, Dean is the best. Yes. It's official, right? Yes. It's the best. They're the best. They're They. We all us. We're all the best. Everything's the best.
We don't know. Well, I hope you and I get to play together at some point.
Yeah. No, that'll...
Because we've
Yeah,
had a
I'm around.
few moments.
I'm around. It can be done. It can be done. Yeah, we've done it. It's happened before. You have Bunny Carlos play on something.
No, I got to play. No, I was... Spike Priggin was doing an album, and he had Bunny play on the whole album, and he had me play 2 songs because he knew.
Oh, right.
So I went to New York to do that with Bunny, and you know, I don't know. I probably told this story. I asked him to say, "Could you show me how to play the beginning of So Good to See You?"
Ooh.
And he did it like 3 times. And I didn't have back then. There weren't video on the cell phone. And just to watch his face, just to have that in front of me, because that's my all-time favorite intro. I don't know why. To see that in person, I mean, I still have that in my head.
No, I know.
But that was crazy. And then, I was telling him, I'm going to rush this. And he goes, well, it takes 2 to rush. So if you rush it, and it's like, man, that was one of the best days of all time.
I can only imagine.
I mean, geez.
I can only imagine.
Thank you, Spike. Man, I'm indebted for that one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you know what? Dean Falcone, multi-instrumentalist, record producer, film producer, bringer of pizza, most importantly.
Bringer of pizza.
Bringer of we'll have to do this again someday because there's more people on this list that we could talk about than we could ever talk about. So we'll have to do this again one of these days. We'll double back. Scott McDonald's on this list.
I love
great
Scott.
drummer.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of great people on here. But okay. Well, you know what? Next time. Dean Falcone was here. I'm glad. I'm really glad you came.
And I hope somebody can edit. Every time I took a sip, I was totally doing that.
Oh,
so if somebody wants to take, unless we're going to do a cover of Time of the Season, it'll work out perfect.
No, it doesn't matter. So this theme song, in case we didn't, just because we're on the topic, this is me and Tom Izzo.
Love Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo's
another
great
guy I wish I could play with more often.
Oh yeah,
so freaking talented.
Yeah, he's the best.
I said freaking, by the way.
That's okay. No, I know. So here's what Tom did. This was a drum track from another session I did that was completely unrelated. Something we did together. Actually, you know what it was? I did of James Velvet's song for the tribute album that never happened. But me and Tom did a song, and then when I needed a theme for the podcast, he just took 16 measures. And then wrote a completely other thing on top of it. I called him and I go, do you think you could do something like that? And he calls me an hour later and goes, how's this? Like he just did, just like that. So that's Tom Izzo. This is the John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, start looking left. We were here with Dean Falcone, the one and only. Hi-hats. Listen. Oh. You got it?
Like a clamshell.
That's right. All right, see ya. Thank you for coming. Thanks for the pizza. It's
been real.
You're the greatest. Later.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.